So for the last 2 hours, I've been trying to rationalize, comprehend, digest, and just make sense of this Artemi Panarin trade. But instead of trying to sleep on it and gather my thoughts for tomorrow's show, I wanted to just talk to everyone that's listening or willing to listen straight up. So my thoughts about this trade right now, I'm scratching my head. Artemi Panarin just signed an extension for 2 years, not three, not four, not five, and at less money than he's making right now. That's not some outrageous franchise crippling contract. 2 years, $11 million. That is literally the definition of a team friendly deal for an elite winger. And what's driving me crazy is the reporting earlier this season completely shaped how fans, including me, felt about this situation. We were told Panarin wanted massive term and massive money, and that's why the Rangers didn't want to re-sign him. That narrative made it easier to move on. Emotionally, you're like, okay, you can't commit to that at Artemi Panarin's age. But now, if this was the offer on the table from the Rangers, short term, lower AAV, this is a slam dunk. You sign him, you keep the asset, you maintain flexibility. So, what exactly changed? Because the logic to me doesn't add up. And then there's a leverage problem. The moment that letter goes out, the moment you signal to the league that you're pivoting, you're open for business, you've basically sold your hand in poker. Every GM in the league knows you're motivated. That kills your negotiating position. If you keep this quieter, if you don't telegraph a teardown or a shift, maybe you squeeze more out of the market, which brings me to the return. How do you trade Artemi Panarin and not get a future first round pick? We're talking about a point per game winger, legitimate top line offensive driver. Historically, that player sets the market. At minimum, you're talking a first or blue chip equivalent. To be honest, I don't know enough about Liam Greentree. I'm sure he's a great prospect. I'm not going to count him out. I can't wait to see what he looks like in a Ranger uniform. He might be great. But ultimately, prospects are unpredictable. Why not push the Kings just a little bit harder? Why not let the deadline pressure build? Why not wait until contenders get desperate and start throwing first round picks around like candy? Instead, this feels rushed. And I know people are going to mention the no move clause, and the Rangers had no choice to do this. But you look at last year what the New York Islanders got in a very similar situation with Brock Nelson, and they get Cal Ritchie. They get a first round pick in 2026. They get a conditional third round pick. They get Oliver Shillington, and then they get another prospect in that deal. You're telling me Artemi Panarin couldn't get a little bit more than what they got in return? I keep scratching my head, and I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if I'll ever make sense of it. I don't know. Maybe someone else can talk some sense into me, but that's just how I'm feeling after digesting this a little bit.